unnecessary discount. Castle Floor Care, our rent-ready business. Call us today.
Happy Labor Day from News Channel 6.
Absolutely glorious Labor Day holiday weekend. Will this great weather continue? I'll detail your forecast coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 5, local businesses trying their best to stay afloat during the pandemic. We'll let you know what they're doing. Plus, we're checking in on Augusta University's telehealth app, how it's impacting the fight against the virus. And the latest on a fire that broke out early today in South Augusta. Those details as your News at 5 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Brad's off tonight. Thank you for staying with us. Coverage you can count on begins with small businesses trying to bounce back after facing some big challenges earlier this year. News Channel 6's Chloe Salsameda explains how they're adapting to changing times.
Many businesses took a hit this spring when they were forced to temporarily shut their doors, but now, a few months later, and on Labor Day, some store owners say foot traffic has picked back up and business is doing good. At Surrey Center in Augusta, businesses are up and running. And to some surprise, some stores had a profitable last couple months despite COVID-19. Alice Sally, the owner of Design Images and Gifts, tells me this summer was one of her best yet.
The business is going really well. We had a pretty good summer. Summers can be slow with people traveling, but I guess since that wasn't really happening a lot, we had a lot of traffic, a lot of great sales.
Just a few doors over, clothing store Fabric is adapting to changing times, offering in-store services and contactless sales.
We do social sales here, so that's been helping a lot too. So that people can do no-contact social sales, or they can just they can even do a personal styling appointment.
But not all businesses have returned to normalcy. The owners of the Bee's Knees and the Hive downtown decided not to fully reopen both locations. Instead, they're operating out of the Hive and are not allowing dine-in service.
I'm thinking about our customers and thinking a lot about our staff and didn't really want to have to put people in a compromising position. So we decided just to keep it scaled back.
About 80% of the restaurant staff were laid off when they temporarily shut down in March. The owners tell me it's been difficult, but luckily they've received some help.
We lost so much money the day that we closed our doors. And then to not have any revenue for 2 months, that there's absolutely no way we could have reopened if we wouldn't have gotten a PPP.
The owners are now looking to the future, hoping to reopen both locations when they feel it's safe to do so. In Augusta, Chloe Salsameda, WJBF, News Channel 6.
A telemedicine program is coming in handy as hospital patient numbers fluctuate in the pandemic. Wills Memorial in Wilkes County is one of several rural hospitals participating in AU's telehealth program. It brings physicians in Augusta to people with critical needs in outlying areas. If a patient takes a turn for the worse, they can be transferred to Augusta, and doctors will be up to speed.
It's a big cart that has a camera that can be controlled remotely and logged onto remotely. So I, from a similar cart here at Augusta University, or even from my laptop, if I'm not in the hospital, can log on. The nurses there can take that cart and put it in front of patients. And I can speak directly to the patients. I can interview them. I can ask my questions.
Telehealth keeps patient dollars at rural hospitals and saves travel time. DHEC has launched its COVID-19 tracker for South Carolina schools. The owners of T's Restaurant say they will rebuild after an early morning fire there. Augusta fire crews were called shortly after 3 this morning to the restaurant on Mike Padgett Highway. They say the fire was contained to a back washroom. It took about 30 minutes to put it out. Firefighters believe it was an electrical fire. No one was hurt. The investigation is ongoing. A former Georgia State trainer encourages everyone who is able to get a flu shot to protect yourself during the uncertain flu season. The entertainment industry wants help from the White House and support from the community. Locally, event partners like the James Brown Arena are working to bring awareness to the Restart bill. It would extend financial relief to small businesses. Thousands of events were canceled in March, leaving more than half of the industry jobless. The people at the JBA say they are trying to get back on their feet.
We have had to think a bit more creatively now. Because we can't just open up the doors and have an event like we normally would. We're trying to think a bit creatively and using some of the assets that we might have here.
One of those creative events is a drive-in comedy show coming up October 11th. Tickets are on sale now. And if you would like to help, you can send a letter to Congress. The link is on Wjbf.com. The owners of T's Restaurant say they will rebuild after an early morning fire there. Augusta fire crews were called shortly after 3 this morning to Mypatcha Highway. They say the fire was contained to a back washroom and took them about 30 minutes to put out. Nobody was hurt. The investigation into that fire is ongoing, but firefighters believe it was an electrical fire. A former Georgia State trooper accused of murder will remain in jail. A judge on Friday denied bond for Jacob Thompson. Prosecutors say Thompson chased Julian Lewis back on August 7th in Screven County before he forced Lewis's car into a ditch and then shot him in the head. He's in the Screven County jail. The GBI is searching for a man who they say shot a Whitfield County, Georgia sheriff's deputy last night, then drove off. Dalton Lee Potter is a fugitive from Texas who was pulled over with a stolen trailer in Whitfield County around 11:40 last night. Authorities say during the traffic stop, Potter fired several rounds at a deputy who survived thanks to a bulletproof vest. Potter later wrecked the vehicle, ditched it, then ran into the woods. He still has not been captured. Tomorrow is the first day back to school for thousands of Richmond County students. It will be the first time in nearly 6 months many of them are back in the classroom. The coronavirus halted in-person learning and students finished the year virtually. This year, students are being given the option of the learning at home model or learning in school in person. More than half the students chose the learn at home option. South Carolina lawmakers are looking at making some changes to what police can and cannot see COVID-19. It's been a tough few months for small businesses, but some local store owners tell us they're recovering. News Channel 6's Chloe Salsamita has more.
Many businesses took a hit this spring when they were forced to temporarily shut their doors, but now, a few months later, and on Labor Day, some store owners say foot traffic has picked back up and business is doing good.
At Surrey Center in Augusta, businesses are up and running. And to some surprise, some businesses had a profitable last couple months despite COVID-19. Alice Sally, the owner of Design Images and Gifts, tells me this summer was one of her best yet.
Business is going really well. We had a pretty good summer. Summers can be slow with people traveling, but I guess since that wasn't really happening a lot, we had a lot of traffic, a lot of great sales.
Sally says she's now looking forward to Christmas and returning to a sense of normalcy. In Augusta, Chloe Salsamita, WJBF, News Channel 6.
My